Florida cuts ties with Billy Napier, ending a tumultuous era in a move that shocked many but surprised few. The University of Florida has parted ways with head football coach Billy Napier, bringing an end to a tenure marked by unmet expectations and simmering tension. Despite a recent victory over Mississippi State, Napier's dismissal comes just 7 games into a season that mirrored the inconsistency and underperformance of his previous years. But here's where it gets controversial. Was Napier given enough time to turn the program around, or did Florida make the right call in cutting their losses early? Napier's journey at Florida began with promise, following 2 losing seasons that were somewhat redeemed by a 2024 surge. This brief resurgence earned him another year at the helm, with 3 years remaining on his 7-year contract. However, the writing was on the wall as the Gators continued to lag behind SEC powerhouses like Georgia and Alabama. According to the terms of his contract, Napier is set to receive a staggering $21 million buyout, with half due within 30 days, a hefty price tag for a program seeking a fresh start. Athletic Director Scott Strickland praised Napier's efforts in a statement, noting, "Billy built a culture of accountability and growth among our student athletes. His meticulous approach had a positive impact on our program. However, as Coach Napier often said, this is a results-driven business, and those results fell short of our expectations on the field. And this is the part most people miss. While Napier's influence was undeniably positive off the field, the lack of on-field success ultimately sealed his fate." Stepping into the interim role is receivers coach Billy Gonzales, a familiar face with ties to Florida's championship glory days under Meyer. Gonzales, who also served as co-offensive coordinator under Dan Mullen, joined Napier's staff in 2023 and now faces the daunting task of steadying the ship ahead of next week's rivalry game against Georgia. Florida entered the season ranked 15th in the AP Top 25, fueled by hopes of a college football playoff run led by 5-star quarterback DJ Lagway. However, a Week 2 home loss to USF and a disastrous performance against LSU, where Lagway threw 5 interceptions, quickly derailed those aspirations. Even an upset win over number 9 Texas couldn't salvage a season plagued by one of the nation's toughest schedules. Napier's final game, a lackluster 23-21 win over Mississippi State, was marred by boos from the home crowd, a fitting end to a tenure that never quite lived up to its potential. Napier's hiring in 2021 was seen as a bold move to modernize a program that had grown stale under Dan Mullen. Coming off a 40-12 record at Louisiana, where he built a Sun Belt powerhouse, Napier was tasked with closing the gap with SEC giants. Instead, he compiled a 22-23 record at Florida, the worst winning percentage, .489, of any non-interim Gators coach since 1945. His struggles against rivals were particularly glaring. 0-3 against Georgia, 1-2 against Tennessee and Florida State, and 1-3 against LSU. And let's not forget the self-inflicted errors, like the infamous punt return against Utah with 2 players wearing the same number, or the repeated special teams blunders that became a hallmark of his tenure. But here's where it gets even more contentious. Napier's time at Florida was also marred by one of the biggest NIL, name, image, and likeness controversies in recent memory. Blue-chip quarterback Jaden Rashada signed with the Gators in 2022, but was released from his letter of intent after an 8-figure NIL dispute. Rashada later sued Napier, adding another layer of drama to an already tumultuous tenure. This raises a thought-provoking question. Did Napier's inability to navigate the modern landscape of college football contribute to his downfall? As Florida looks ahead, the program finds itself at a crossroads. With 3 national titles since 1996, the Gators are no strangers to success, but the fear of being left behind by SEC rivals looms large. Napier's dismissal marks the 4th time since Meyer's departure in 2010 that a Florida coach has failed to last 4 full seasons. Will the next hire finally break the cycle, or is Florida destined to repeat history? We'll leave you with this. In a sport where results reign supreme, can a coach's off-field impact ever outweigh their on-field shortcomings? Sound off in the comments. We want to hear your take.